Imagine a man with no formal training, no university degree, no access to a library, yet somehow he begins rewriting the laws of the universe. When people asked him where these impossible equations came from, his answer didn't sound scientific. It sounded mythical. He didn't say he discovered them. He said they were written on his tongue by a goddess while he slept. This is the haunting story of Srinivasa Ramanujan, a man who saw patterns in chaos that the rest of the world would take a century to understand. But if his mind was so extraordinary, why did his life end at just 32? Born in 1887 in a small town in South India, Ramanujan was never a conventional genius. He didn't excel in every subject. In fact, he failed out of college. Why? Because he refused to study anything except mathematics. To him, numbers weren't symbols. They were alive. In 1913, he sent a letter to Cambridge University. Inside it were over 100 theorems, pages filled with results so strange they looked like madness. Most professors dismissed it, but one man didn't. G.H. Hardy. Hardy saw something no one else could. He later said, "These must be true, because if they were not, no one would have the imagination to invent them." Ramanujan was invited to England, but the journey came at a cost. It was the middle of World War I. Food was scarce. The weather was unforgiving. As a strict vegetarian, he struggled to survive, often living on little more than rice and a few vegetables, cooking for himself in the freezing nights. He was alone, cold, and constantly ill. But his mind was on fire. One day, while visiting him in the hospital, Hardy mentioned the number of the taxi he arrived in, 1729. He called it a dull number. Ramanujan immediately replied, "No, Hardy. It is a very interesting number. It is the smallest number that can be expressed as the sum of two cubes in two different ways." Even in pain, his brilliance never dimmed. But genius demands a price. Ramanujan's health continued to decline, weakened by illness and severe malnutrition. In 1919, he returned to India. The world saw him as a legend. But in reality, he was fading. Confined to his bed, in constant pain, he continued to write. And in those final moments, he created something even more mysterious: the Mach theta functions. It would take mathematicians nearly 90 years to begin understanding what he had uncovered. Today, those same ideas are helping us explore the physics of black holes. On April 26, 1920, the light went out. At just 32 years old, Srinivasa Ramanujan was gone. He left behind only a few notebooks, filled with ideas so far ahead of their time, they still challenge the greatest minds on Earth. So what was he? A divine messenger? Or a mind wired unlike any other in history? We may never know. But one thing is certain: Ramanujan didn't just study infinity, he lived it.